We are in our second full year of the pandemic, and it seems like when things are improving, another wave hits us right in the face, Stacey.
Yeah, it can be really disappointing. Living through this pandemic has taken a toll on people's mental health. Blanca Cobb, who has a master's degree in psychology, joins us today to talk about how we can remain optimistic during this pandemic, which can be kind of tough sometimes.
Tough for me, it has been. So Blanca, let's start with this. What do people tend to get wrong when trying to stay positive?
A lot of times what people get wrong when they're trying to stay positive is that they're focusing on external factors. What that means is they're going to wait until the condition, until the situation, or in this case, until the pandemic goes away before they start to feel better. That's the wrong way of looking at it. It isn't the external factors, because as you know, we have no control over that. It's what we feel inside and what we do internally that makes the difference.
Okay, so how can we make that switch to start thinking optimistically?
This is where you have to take control. And by control, I mean action. Figure out for yourself, what is it that you're most stressed about? And hit Google. Get answers to questions, talk to people. When you figure out what your triggers are, what you're really sensitive to, what really seems to be weighing you down, and then you get some answers, it's going to be like this light switch that you turn on, because you're going to start looking at the situation differently. So there are no cookie cutter answers here. This isn't a one size fits all answer. This is all individual, because people are going to be concerned about different things when it comes to the pandemic.
So once we flip that switch and we start thinking optimistically and we start thinking positively, how do we stay this way?
That is a great question. And just with life, there are going to be ebbs and flows. And what this means is, once you start on this positive outlook, that doesn't mean it's going to stay on this upward positive trajectory. What's going to happen is that sometimes something will come up, which means there are going to be moments of sadness. But this is where you need to take control of your mind. And what I mean is this: give yourself a time limit on how much you're going to focus on the negativity or these thoughts that you can't seem to get rid of. And then afterward, whatever that time limit is, say it's an hour, say it's 20 minutes, whatever it is, then you need to flip that switch by taking action. The reason you want to take action and do something positive, either for yourself or somebody else, is because it serves as a distraction and you're not focusing on that negativity. You're actually doing something that's productive, either for your mental health or your physical health. For example, you could dance, you could cook for somebody else, cook for your family, cook for a neighbor, right? Go exercise, write in a gratitude journal. Start thinking about things that you should be grateful for, and it truly will change your mindset. But realize your mindset, but realize this: it's going to take time. You just can't do these activities one time and think it's over. It needs to become habit. It needs to become routine. And then over time, a short period of time, you'll notice a difference.
Blanca, thank you so much for that advice. I do think what was interesting, what she said, to give yourself time to kind of process it. You almost have to, when you're thinking about everything, give yourself 20 minutes, an hour, whatever, because I do think we do need to process what's happening. But then after a certain period of time, you need to, like she said, switch that, or flip the switch and say, okay, I've thought about it enough. I need to move on and do something to make myself feel better.
Move forward with it. Yeah, for me, I think back to March, April, May of 2020 and how completely locked down my world was, right? I hated being that isolated from people. And I think about how we're not really like that now. Yes, we have restrictions and you have to be safe or whatever, but you can still get out a little bit more than we used to. You can still go out to eat a little bit, just remain with distance. And I think about how thankful I am that we're not like we were in the beginning.
And I like how she said it's not like an overnight thing. And I think we also have to realize we go through cycles, because I have my moments where I'm like, I'm working on myself. Once I get out of this, I'm gonna be this great person. I've had this time to calm down. And then some days I'm like, when are we gonna get out of this? And you start to panic.
Yeah.
You go through those cycles. So I think just taking it one day at a time is the best thing you can do.
Yeah.
Being thankful for little things,
Yeah.
That's the way it works.